Alright, I just watched this legal mindset breakdown of the Kino Casino versus quartering situation, and I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the most confident displays of completely backwards legal reasoning I've seen in quite a while. Not because the situation isn't messy, but because the conclusions don't match the evidence at all. Now, let me be crystal clear before anyone clips me out of context. I do not like Jeremy Hambly. I think he handled this entire situation like a guy who saw trolls, took the bait, then kept eating the bait over and over and over again. I also really like the Kino Casino guys. I think they're funny. I was really enjoying their coverage of the quartering. Then poof, they just disappeared. However, that has absolutely nothing to do with whether Jeremy Hambly is legally liable. And that's the problem with this video. It lives squarely in the court of clout, while it's pretending this is the court of law. So the video starts with
saying, Josh, can we agree I can take their kick in YouTube, right? If I actually wanted to, they would be deplatformed outside of DLive in a week.
Okay, let's slow down, because what we actually have is internet trash talk, bragging, emotional venting, and we even have this. Jeremy says, I don't want that. I just want them to leave my family alone. Oh, so not only is that not malicious intent, that's literally, please stop bothering me. Now, whether he has a point or not about the Kino Casino actually harassing him is a different story entirely. The only question is intent. So again, the master plan to destroy their business starts with, I don't even want to do that. Fantastic. And this matters because for tortious interference, which is the main thing Legal Mindset is trying to argue in this video, you need an intent to disrupt a business relationship. Not, I'm mad, I'm talking trash, I said something edgy in DMs. Actual intent. Instead, we get a denial, a defensive motive, and statements saying if they were wrongly banned, restore them, as was later quoted in a post by the quartering. That's not malicious interference. That's the opposite of that. Then we get what might be my favorite part. The quote-unquote evidence that he has God mode reporting powers. And his response in the screenshot is, LOL, yes, I press a button and poof. Are we serious right now? We've done it. We've discovered the secret YouTube delete channel button. Only one man has access. Only one man can truly take down all of YouTube with a single press of his Cuckian button. This is clearly sarcasm, hyperbole, internet exaggeration. And the craziest part is Legal Mindset treats this as if he's being serious.
You can see here he kind of reinforces this when there's a question saying, an assumption I see being made is that you, the quartering, have God mode reporting powers on YouTube. Is that true? He confirms this and says, yes, all I have to do is press a button and poof. I also shouldn't even have to report the channels either, apparently. So once again, he's confirming his ability. He's saying, I have this power.
Now, would a reasonable person take this literally? No. He literally says LOL in the comment. Apparently at the end of the sentence shows that he's being sarcastic. Now, unless we want to prosecute every YouTuber who's ever said, I ended his career, this doesn't hold any legal weight. Then it somehow gets worse. They zoom in on a search bar and we see, thank you for your report to YouTube.
You see these YouTube support tickets.
A support ticket. Oh my God. He used the report button. Lock him up. This proves that he filed a report on YouTube, a platform with a reporting system. What it does not prove is who he reported, what he reported, whether it was Kino Casino, whether YouTube acted on it, whether it had any effect. But we're supposed to jump to he caused the takedown? That's not evidence. This is veering smoothly into the realm of coincidence. Also, if he had a YouTube rep who can just take down channels by the press of a button, why would he need to make a support ticket, right? If the other claim is that he just picked up the phone and called his friend over at YouTube and took down the channels that way, why would he have to make a report to YouTube? It makes no sense. And this is where the entire theory dies. To win this legally, you would have to prove the following.
Getting the contact, making the call, that's intentional. He did that with the intent of taking those down.
Meanwhile, in reality, YouTube makes independent decisions, multiple reports happen, automated systems flag content, but sure, it was definitely one guy pulling a giant lever labeled delete channel. Now, I've seen some instances where channels have been taken down by having a certain contact over at YouTube, but that's for like egregious situations. In a case like Kino Casino, I really don't see it happening. Now, here is where we get the strongest evidence in the entire video. You ready for for it?
Is that he asserted that he did this perhaps by phone call and by use of a back channel connection. And this is bolstered by Yellow Flash, who actually reached out to somebody with connections to YouTube. And this is what they had to say. The YouTube individual. They said, just for your own peace of mind, I pinged one of our guys last night about the quartering drama. His estimation based on the back end is that the casino was taken down from a personal request.
A guy who talked to another guy who pinged another guy who gave an estimation that it was almost certainly a personal request. Ah, yes, the legal standard of proof. Trust me, bro. This is not sworn testimony, not a document, not verifiable. It's hearsay stacked on hearsay wrapped in speculation. Then Legal Mindset shows this as an exhibit. If they were wrongfully banned, they should be restored. I didn't do it. And I'm sitting here like, you realize this helps the defense, right? Because this shows no desire for wrongful takedown, acknowledgement of platform rules, a denial of involvement. That is not, I destroyed their business. That's, if something wrong happened, fix it. He's literally removing all malicious intent from his actions, which kills tortious interference. And this is the real issue. This entire video runs on suspicion, timing, narrative, but in actual law, you need evidence, intent, causation, improper conduct, not just vibes. Listen, you can think Jeremy Hambly acted like an idiot, which he did. You can think he fed into the trolls. You can think this whole situation is embarrassing. All fair. All the cuck allegations, really humiliating. But legally, that's irrelevant, because the question is not, does this look bad? The question is, can you actually prove a case? And based on this, no, you can't. So if you're going to be calling yourself Legal Mindset, maybe focus a little less on what sounds like a lawsuit and a little more on what actually survives one.